In this video, I'm going to show you how to write your first Java program and compile and run it from command line interface. In another video, I'm going to show the same thing for Windows operating system. Command line, there are two different ways that you can interact with your operating system. One is a graphical user interface. For example, when I click on this, what I have is a graphical interface here. In order to switch a folder, all I need to do is click. So this is one way. There's another way, which is called command line interface. And as a computer science student, you need to get familiar with it because there are a lot of things that you can do with the command line interface that you cannot do with graphical interface. So in this class, we are going to heavily use command line interface. The terminal app is the program that we use to interact with the command line interface. So first, I'm going to bring it up. The terminal app is located under Applications and under Utilities right here. You can double click and it will bring the command line interface. Of course, you don't have to memorize this. You can go to Launchpad and search and type terminal and it will come up. The terminal app is going to bring you the command line interface, and you see this is the default settings. Maybe we should customize it a little bit so that maybe we can change the background color, text color, font size, and so on, so that you can see that on the screen better. So I'm going to go to Terminal, Preferences. First, I'm going to go and change the background to white. And I'm going to go and change text color to black. And I'm going to change the font size. Regular size is 12. I'm going to make it pretty big so that you can see what I'm typing. And that's all I want to do. Now I'm going to close the terminal app and run it again. This time it will come with my new settings. Terminal app is going to take you to the current folder. Current folder is my user folder segment. So this is the first thing that you need to do. And if you look here, there is something called Z shell, ZSH, that stands for Z shell. You don't need to worry about this too much here, but this is the type of the login shell that we use with the terminal. But again, you don't have to worry about this. So now I have my terminal. And second thing that I need to do is to bring up a text editor, because we are going to write our first program using extremely minimal settings, just a text editor and the terminal app. That's all what we need to run Java applications. And I go to Launchpad and I type text edit. Text edit is the default text editor that comes with the Mac operating system. Just like the terminal app, I'm going to customize this a little bit because and so that I can see the font better and so on. In order to do that, first I'm going to go to text edit, preferences. First, the default format is rich text format, but we don't want to use rich text format. We just want to use plain text. So that's the first setting that I will change. Second, I'm going to check spelling as you type, because I don't want this to check any spelling for me, and I don't want to have any autocorrection for spelling. Additionally, as you see in the font, there's plain text font and rich text font. I'm going to go and change the plain text font. The regular size is 11. I'm going to make it a little bigger so that you can see better what I type. I'm going to make it 14. And then I'm going to close this. I'm going to close this. When I run the text edit again, it will come with my new settings. So far what do I have? I have my terminal and I have my text editor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to write a simple Java program here, but I want to be organized. So on my desktop, I'm going to create a new folder. And I'm going to call this new folder as, what should we call? Let's call it learning, because this is all about learning. So I have this folder here. If I double click on it, you will see that my learning folder is empty. So this is the graphical user interface, and this is the command line interface. So we can do more or less the same thing using a GUI or graphical interface with a CLI, command line interface. So for example, if I go to terminal and type ls, ls stands for listing. It lists all the folders that I have under user segment. One folder is desktop, for example. Another is downloads. For example, if I go here, as you see here, I have downloads folder, documents folder, desktop, and so on. So my learning folder is under desktop. So from command line interface, I'm gonna navigate to my desktop folder. In order to do that, I will say cd desktop. Either I can type the whole desktop, or I can write DE, for example, and then put tab. It will automatically bring desktop folder for me. Now, as you see, I am inside desktop folder. If I say ls, it shows me only one thing called learning, because in my desktop, I have only one folder that's called learning, similar to what I have right, let's make it this way, okay, right here. Learning, under desktop, I have learning folder. Now, if I say ls, list, the learning, sorry, I'm going to change it to the learning folder. I will say cd learning. Again, either I can type fully or I can type a couple of letters and then tab. It's going to bring me right here. And if I say ls, it will be nothing because my learning folder is totally empty. If I want to go one step back, I will say cd ... It will take me back to my desktop folder. If I say cd ... again, it will take me back to wherever I was before. So right now, I'm again on the user folder segment. I can do another way. I can say cd desktop tab and then slash, and then I can say learning tab. I can directly go this way as well. Right now, I'm in the learning folder using command line interface. And here I am in the learning folder using graphical user interface. And this is my text editor where I'm going to write my first Java program. I'm going to go and do it, public class test. So it is okay if you don't understand what I'm doing, because I don't expect you to understand at this point. My point is just to make sure that you understand how to write a program, save it, and then go to the terminal app, compile and run it. As you see, this is extremely primitive. It's just a text editor. And I want you to get the feeling that that's what all you need, a text editor and the terminal app. Okay, so this is a very simple Java program. I'm gonna go and save, either going here and doing save, or I can just do Command S. It will ask me the location. How about we go to desktop, learning folder, and I will name this file as test.java. There's a reason for this, because if you notice public class test, the name of the class is test with capital T, and I named the file test.java with capital T. Now, as you see from the graphical interface, test.java is located under learning folder. From command line interface, if I say ls, I will also see test.java right there. So in order to compile our program, I'm going to write javac space test.java. C in javac stands for compile. Once you do this, Java is going to check the syntax. For example, if you forget a semicolon at the end right here, there will be a syntax error and it will give you a compile error. Let's see if there are any errors in this program. I will just compile. It just compiled. If you noticed, test.java was the only file, but right after I compiled it, Java created another file called test.class. And if I do ls listing again, I will see test.class and test.java. Okay, so in order to run, that means there are no errors, the syntax is correct, and Java is happy with it, it compiled. Now it's time to run the program. In order to run it, I will type Java space test. Notice that it's only Java, there is no C or no other letters, and then it's only test, there is no extension. You click on it, and it says, hello TSU. So congratulations, you wrote your first program, you compiled, and you ran the program. Just to show you, assume that I make a mistake here. For example, instead of capital S, I have lowercase letter there. Let's save it. And then with up and down arrows, by the way, I can navigate from my previous commands. So I'm gonna bring Java C, test Java. Now you will see that, boom, there is an error. So it is not very informative, but you can see that there's an error in this line. And with experience, you will figure out that this should be a capital letter. You go back, and then up and down arrows, you can go to your compile again, and then run again, and it will run successfully. I hope this is clear, and we are going to have a lot of fun in this class. This is just the beginning. So I'll see you in the next video.